Evening, folks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming a wee bit late because Ashley was trying to adjust her camera. They were on the other side of the living room, but they decided to move a bit closer.
Yeah.
But we're here. That's the main thing. I was going to say, we're halfway through the week, aren't we? This is Wednesday, isn't it? Aye, Wednesday. So tonight we have joining us again the lovely Ash and Hollie from Project Paranormal. They were on about 3-4 weeks ago, something like that.
I was going to say it was about a month ago.
Yeah, about that.
Poor Holly though was she was trapped with her little one.
Yeah.
She just did not want to go to sleep last time.
No, but
That's right. You didn't see much of Holly the last time because she was otherwise occupied. But they've been begging for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Can we come back on?
Yeah, begging and pleading, please have us back.
You know, and it's when they turn up at your front door, that's when they start to get alarming. How are we, ladies?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, good,
really
thank you.
Very hot. It was very warm the past few days, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been unbearable, but
It must be hotter up there.
Yeah, it's been much cooler today.
It's a lot cooler. Everybody I've spoken to down south the last 2 or 3 days, they're saying, we can't bear this heat, blah blah blah. But it's not been. It's been warm up here, but it's not kind of unbearable.
Yeah.
But there may be a heat wave coming. I was reading it today. Temperatures up to 40 degrees hotter than Dubai.
Jesus Christ.
But here we go. Laura Dawson, one of ours, and she's commenting, good evening. Right?
Good evening.
Hi.
The thing is, I can actually go at that and touch. There's a hand there. See that hand?
Is that who it is?
She's sitting about 3 feet away from me.
Hey!
So, why she's commenting, she was trying to knit earlier on. Have you ever tried knitting?
I've never tried knitting, no.
No. It's dead boring. It looks dead boring. No, I've tried. I tried it once, actually, about 3, 4, no, more than that, about 5, 6 years ago and failed miserably. It was this woman. We used to be in a group, a charity group, and this woman, had the great idea that she was going to teach us knitting. Now, I'm from Pollock, in Glasgow and what have you. And here's another one, China. Sarah, she's about 10 feet away from me. The both of them are. I'll turn the background off, right?
Oh, fuck. Thanks. That's my hand.
There's Sarah's hand. Laura, where's your hand? Shows your hand. There we go. See?
Hey.
Hi there.
So this woman took it upon herself to try and teach us knitting. And she tried to teach me, but I tried for about 5 minutes, and she came out and says to me, how are you getting on? And I was like, that's just had 2 needles in the wool just fell off it. I says, that's how I'm getting on. I says, I'm prepared. The last thing I have ideas learned to knit, but Laura's sitting trying to knit the new blouse. I think she's knitting a sheep or something. I don't know.
Sheep.
Maybe. Anyway, enough about they two, because they're right out there. So he's been out recently, or whatever. What's been happening? Come on, give me the gossip.
What? Not an awful lot, to be honest. We recently went on a ghost hunt at Davidstow.
Yeah.
That was your first time there, wasn't it?
First time going, which was incredible.
It's like a war museum. It's got loads of war artifacts. It's got a wartime bunker there, all sorts of stuff, and loads of interesting things happen. Including I'd actually got a photo from a man. I'd never actually met him before. It was his first time on the ghost hunts, but he caught a photo of what looks like a man stood directly in front of me while I was on live, saluting me. I'll have to send you the photo, and so then you can see it. But it's incredible. Well, actually, you might have it on WhatsApp. Didn't I? I sent it to you.
Did you send it to me?
I think so. Yeah, you might have it on WhatsApp. I might be able to show you on screen. Hang on. But yeah, it was really interesting. If you go, yeah, go up there and then go on media.
No, you didn't send it to me.
No?
No.
Oh.
How unloved am I?
Thanks. I'm just trying to think. Who else? There's no way I can access it on this.
No.
Unless you wanted to go live on your phone.
I don't mind.
What percentage is your phone on?
Probably 100.
Actually, if
You
I
see,
come off.
you can see the tech minds there. Trying to
Yeah.
get in life.
I'm trying to see if I quickly pop off of here and then send the link to Holly and Holly comes in, I can show you the photo then if you're up for that.
Aye, that's fine though, whatever. I'll just sit here and
Yeah,
look
stay in
awesome.
the live. And then yeah, we'll join in on Holly's phone and then I can show you the picture and stuff.
See you in a
give me
minute then.
2 seconds.
Okay, doke. So they're a way to swap over phones, and so we can see this photograph. So say Sarah and Laura are just sitting right there.
Hey
And that's-
guys. Hi.
You can see half of Laura's. Laura only has half a head.
Just for today.
Just know the half is. But while we're waiting, tomorrow we are off to Edinburgh, and we're hoping that, as you can see off the reflection in that door, it's quite sunny. So we are off to meet up with Jamie Christopherson to discuss some parameet and just a general catch up because we've not seen Jamie since about Halloween last year. It was Halloween, wasn't it?
So.
Aye, because we were really great at Halloween because we met up with Eileen as well. Because he's been a busy boy. So we're off there tomorrow. We'll be in Edinburgh for. In fact, Halloween was the last time we were in Edinburgh.
Was that?
Aye, I think so, aye. It
That's
was.
Laura's fault.
But I hope you all enjoyed my random question. Oh, at the back. 2 seconds, at the back.
Okay. It's okay.
I'm glad you came back and just didn't bugger off. Not
Yeah, deuces. Right, okay, so I have the photo. Let me have a look. This bloke. Oh no, when did he send me that? When did we
Hey, Hatchie, buddy, hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, no, we're doing really good. We're doing really well.
Yeah, doing good.
We've got quite a few, well, a few investigations to look forward to this year. We've got quite a few booked, haven't we?
We do, yeah. We've got Trinity Saturday.
This Saturday,
Maybe Trinity Church.
We haven't got one next month.
No, we've
So
got
I'm
a break.
travelling up to my mum's, and then when have we got back to
Before
school?
August. Yeah. And
Do you just find it's better going to organised events, like events or whatever, or just jumping in the car and going somewhere?
See, me and Holly can't drive, so we go with another group. We kind of car share for the moment, but hopefully by the time it comes to next year, I should be driving, so we'll be able to do an awful lot more.
I get the lessons in and get the driving lesson, get the driving test done.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Then we're limitless. We can do whatever. We could go out every weekend if we really wanted to.
yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. It's great the freedom a car gives you, especially with what we do. You can just kind of jump in the car and go anywhere. Whereas if you're relying on buses or all that kind of stuff, then you are really kind of limited. Is there anywhere local round about you that you can go?
The closest would probably be Trinity. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
Trinity, which is about 20 miles from here.
Both ways, from where you live and from where I live, it's probably about a good 25 minutes, 25 minutes, and that's by car down the dual carriageway.
Yeah.
But other than that, like especially free places, like Trinity is free because it's just an abandoned church. Everywhere else is kind of paid for, isn't it? And that's you have to travel there. It's not within like walking distance.
We don't do paid locations. We're too tight-fisted.
Yeah.
We just go to ones that are free, basically. We've done, no, have we ever done any paid locations? No, I don't. You've been doing this for 5 years. No. You see, we're too tight-fisted to pay for. Some of the prices that, some locations up here ask for are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
40, £50 a person and stuff. What's it like done your end, price-wise?
So we go with a group that's actually quite affordable. They purposely try and make it affordable in order to have more people come. They don't really take any like profit from it.
Mm-hmm.
They just do it for fun. So like every time we go out, it's about 15-20 quid. Sometimes, depending on how big the location is, it can go up to about 30, 35.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's probably as expensive as it gets. Most locations, I would say, is about £20, isn't it?
Yeah, around 20, 15, 20.
15, 20 quid, yeah. So it's
That's not too bad, I suppose.
we're quite to find this group. We've gained quite a few friends through it as well, haven't we? We've got like our own little spooky family down here.
Yeah.
But obviously, once we get driving, we will be doing our own kind of lone stuff. But
coming to Scotland.
Yeah.
I really want to do the vaults. I really want to do the vaults.
The vaults are. We've done two sets of vaults. Nidgy Street. There's 2 sets of vaults in Nidgy Street. One of the sets you actually go upstairs to. They weren't too great. That's the ones with the stone circle and that in it. As the other set, the Nidgy Street South set, they're the ones that are actually underground.
We were talking about last time, and I said about the ones with Mr. Boots, and you were trying to figure out what sets of vaults he was in.
That's the Blair Street vaults. We did a tour in the Blair Street, and I did it. I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. We went through for the tour in the Blair Street vaults. That's where Mr. Boots is supposed to. It's said to roam. Apparently, he was a caretaker back when the vaults were occupied, but he wasn't the nicest of guys. I think he still sees the kind of area as his. But Nidgy Street South vaults, I'd say no offence to the other ones. This is just my opinion. We've done that 3 times, and I would say they're the best vaults to go to. The other vaults are nice. As soon as you walk in, you can just feel the history in the place.
Yeah.
And you can just imagine the people. Because it was like some people were born and died down there and never ever came up to the street level.
Yeah, I mean, there was disease, and there was like its own underground city at one point, wasn't it?
That's basically what it was. It was a city under the city. You had bars, you had shops, all the cobblers shop, butchers, all the rest of it. Every kind of shop you can imagine. And as I say, some people lived their entire life in the vaults without ever seeing the sun.
Yeah.
And obviously, the other side of disease, and there was a lot of crime went on, prostitution, all that kind of stuff. You hear that? You done?
Aye.
I mean, it was at 4.
So I found that picture if you want to see it.
Yeah, I stick it up.
So this is my face. Can you see that?
I can see it's quite bright in the middle.
Yeah, so that's my face. And then you have, I'll have to try and like point it out because I'm not sure whether you'll see it.
There's a shadow, or some kind of shadow in front of you.
Yeah, like here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, if you look carefully, you can see his arm, his elbow here, and he's like saluting me.
And that was the War Museum.
That was in the German room.
So, I mean, obviously places like that, there's a lot of artifacts that are still, that are there. And we've spoke a few times on the show about certain artifacts having, still got that connection to whoever owned them. and the person who owned them still kind of looks over them, looks after them, basically. So is it possible that whoever that gentleman is, that's what he was doing, basically? That makes sense.
I mean, quite possibly. Another theory that I had as well is I had my hair pretty much the same as I have tonight, which is a very military style slick back bun. It's kind of my go-to, and I'm not sure whether they kind of, I mean, I've got military background as well, like quite strong military background in my family. So I don't know whether they knew about that or they were saluting me thinking I was some like a member of the military or something because of my hairstyle.
Aye, I suppose that's probably when you say that is possible that it could have mistaken you for somebody.
Quite possible.
You know,
very common hairstyle is to have like a slick back bun with like the beret and everything on top. I obviously didn't have a beret on.
I see, that's the kind of hairstyle I used to have, but I gave up on that.
It's too much hassle.
It was too much grief for me. Hey, Eric, buddy. So, Hollie, it was your first time there at that location.
Yeah.
What was your impression of what happened to you?
To me, like, I don't, like, personally, nothing really happened much for me, like, but what was happening around us was pretty incredible. We had some, like, really good, like, we've got really good mediums, haven't we? Like, psychic mediums that come along with us. And they were picking up on people, like, pacing the room. And there was, like, a young spirit that came through that was, like, what, a 17-year-old boy.
That's the one I picked up on.
Yeah, you picked up on that one.
Yeah, I don't. It's just like, but I don't class myself as a medium. I'm still trying to figure out who I am and what I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like actual mediums there, and they were picking up on like 2 or 3 different men, weren't they?
Yeah.
Amanda picked up on a man.
Yeah, and then
the guy who does the haunted walks picked up on like 2 young lads as well.
And they helped a young lad cross over, which I've never witnessed before, and that was pretty incredible. To watch people help, someone that needs passing over.
I don't no disrespecting people that do that, but I'm kind of 50-50 on the passing. Not that I'm an expert or so though, but
I've been open with you. I'm exactly the same. Like mediumship is different, but the whole like there's one particular thing I've spoken to you about is like people being taken over, like having their body being used as a vessel and stuff.
Like, is it actually happening?
Yeah, every investigation they can just suddenly flick a switch and they're possessed and you can talk to this spirit and stuff. I'm just not fully convinced.
Neither am I. I mean, I know a few mediums, and they are good at Barry John being one of them. Tracy as well, and they are good at what they do. They're the genuine ethical, whatever you want to call it. But it's usually the people getting possessed and what have you. I mean, I do believe spirit can affect your mood. It's happened to me in Edinburgh years ago.
Emotion and everything, like it's fine, but the whole like you becoming a completely different person because their soul has jumped into your body, I'm a little bit skeptic of that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same. Do people get possessed? And I think it all stems back to, no disrespect to them guys, but Derek Akora with the most haunted.
You ruined it for
me. Literally the first person I could think of, and like the American of Derek Akora would be Zach Bagans now, because that's where every episode of him he gets possessed too.
See, it really gets on my ends, basically. I'll say I put an appropriate word there.
It makes you like it gives you a really unrealistic view on actually going out ghost hunting.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're watching all these entertainment shows like Ghost Adventures,
Yeah.
Most Haunted and stuff, and they're getting possessed and all this stuff happening. It's like, that isn't ghost hunting. We can go ghost hunting so many times at Trinity and barely anything happens, but then we'll have one amazing night
Yeah.
and it would be awesome.
Yeah. No.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's not as like entertainment TV
yeah.
excitement. Do you know what I mean? Like all this
Yeah.
magical shit's happening. Excuse my French. Like magical stuff.
It's all right, though. No, I totally get what you mean. I mean, 2 points there. One, you got a location and you might get a load of activity. Like Rigga and I did Loudon last Thursday, was it?
Yeah.
We did Loudon. Now, we've been at Loudon for about 4 years or something. And there's nights where we've had quite a bit of activity with, the EVPs, all the rest of it. But we went last Thursday and there really wasn't that much happening. Now,
Where
we
did
know
you
the
go?
place is active. Sorry, though.
Where did you go in London?
Loudon. No, Loudon.
I was going to say, that's one hell of a trip for you.
I was a bit of a bugger, right? Especially the service. They're getting expensive, aren't they, services?
Bloody
Like
hell.
£15 for a costume, crap like that.
It's the accent.
No,
Yeah.
Loudon is Loudon.
Loudon.
Loudon. Aye.
Okay.
It's about 10 minutes away from us. But, we felt there was people around us, and Rigga kept hearing bits and pieces, but there wasn't really a lot happened. As you say. But then other nights we've been there and it's been buzzing. But the whole demonic getting taken over, you see Zach Baggins and, Most Haunted, every time they went out, it was never anybody nice that took them out. It wasn't Fred the Baker or something like that. It was always a demon, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was possessing them.
Aye, and so, I mean, mediumship, I don't know. Mediumship is a bit of a sticky one because anybody can claim to be a medium.
My favourite medium, I would definitely suggest looking him up. He's incredible. He's called Tyler Henry.
Right.
He is
That's
amazing.
a young guy, isn't it?
Yeah, American guy. He is incredible, and he's even gone under like those epilepsy like brainwave cap things that they can put on your scalp and stuff. He even did that and like went into like a reading and stuff like that, and they said that apparently his brainwaves completely change, like he's in like a REM sleep. Like he goes into a sleep, but he's fully conscious and talking.
Wow.
It's honestly, it's incredible if you watch it. I'm pretty sure that particular one, he's reading Steve-O from Jackass.
Oh, right.
But yeah, the stuff he comes out with, like he goes to people's houses not knowing who these people are until they open the door. Usually it's celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that he comes up with is just incredible. You should see like the look on their faces. They're like nobody not even on the internet would know any of this stuff.
I've seen him a few times. I think it's Facebook. I've seen him on. But I don't know. Mediums, they need to prove themselves to me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would straight up believe someone like, oh, I'm a medium. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd have to. For example, if you want to hear it, I had an experience with a medium not long ago.
Aye, go on, do I?
So this was about maybe like 2 years ago, something like that. I was on an app called Peanut, which is basically, it's an app for mums, isn't it? To meet mums in your local area so you can make friends and stuff.
Well, one of these woman group things.
Yeah. And you can go into like these pods. You don't go on camera or anything. It's just like your profile picture in a little circle, and like loads of people can go in them. Or, I mean, some pods can have like 5 or 6 people in them. It's, it's just one of those things. And I went into one of these pods and there was a couple of American women, and this one American woman was like, Ashleigh, do you have like a grandfather or like a grandfather figure that's passed over? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, he's trying to tell me something, but like, can you make sense of it? I was like, yeah, of course, like, go ahead. Like, I'm pretty sure I know my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, what I'm getting is, like, this woman, keep in mind, is American. I hadn't known her or spoken to her for any longer than 5 minutes. This woman had no idea who I was. She was like, I keep seeing fine china. She was like, this fine china. And she said, it's like a bunch of flowers. And she said, for some reason, I could see one particular flower and the head falls off. And I was like, nope. So I haven't got a clue what you're going on about. And I was like, right, just give me like 2 minutes. Everybody stay in the pod. I was like, I'm going to go and FaceTime my mum and see what's going on. She was like, okay, well, you know, just tell your mum that he knows about this. And I was like, okay. So I FaceTime my mum and I'm like, I've got some lady who's claiming to be a medium on this app and she's on a pod right now and I'm talking to her and she's told me this, that and the other. And I was like, so do you know anything about fine china, bunch of flowers and one of the heads popping off? And no word of a lie, my mum's face went completely blank. She nearly went white and she was just like, how the hell do you know that? And I was like, what? And she said, I was literally going to take that to the grave. I could not tell my dad. She was like, my dad got this like antique fine china tulip bunch of flowers that he used to put in the middle of his table, in the dining table. And she said, my job at the end of dinner was to clean the dining room table and I accidentally knocked it and one of the flower heads popped off and I put it in the bin and never told anybody.
Oh my God.
And she was like, my dad found out that obviously one of the flower heads had disappeared, but nobody had admitted to it.
No.
And she was like, I would never tell him because he would get so mad with me because he spent so much money on this antique flower thing. And she was just like, nobody knew about that. And I was like, well, she told me that Granddad knows that it was you. And she was just like, shit. She was like, oh God, no.
It's when you get stuff like that. But, you know, I mean, I used to go to spiritual church in Glasgow a long time ago, and you go, you know, the main one is in the city centre. I'd go there on a Sunday night, and I think it would start about 7 or something, but you go in first and sit down and have a cup of tea, coffee, whatever. And so I'd go in early, and you people sitting about, and you get the mediums coming out and just sitting with them and talking to them. Because I'm a bit of a nosy, you know what I mean? So I'm like that, you know. Try not to listen, but you're listening in and you hear the people saying, oh my God, you know, I can't believe you told me that. But you're still kind of doubtful, you know, whether the thing, but until it happens to you and you get something, you know, as you were saying, you told your mum about the flowers, nobody could know that.
No.
And that's why they was spot on.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know the story, nothing, until I literally told my mum and I saw the like blood rush out of my mum's face and I was like, have I said something? And she was just like, nobody knew that. She was like, I kept that to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get it and get told off by her dad. So she was like, I broke it and I didn't tell anyone. I chucked it in the bin and that was it. I was like, oh my God, that's mental. I was like, well,
you get grassed up, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, well, he knows. And she was like, oh no, oh God. So,
but then, see, that to me, that proves another point that I've asked quite a few people that, you know, people think when you pass on, you go away and that's it, you know, but I always believe that your loved ones are always hanging about. You might not realise it, you don't know it, but they're always hanging about, keeping an eye on you and following you about the place kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and for your granddad to know about the flower, it shows that he was there.
Oh, yeah. My,
you know,
well, I mean, this was when my granddad was alive. This was when my mum was little.
Right, go, you know. But this lady knew about it.
This lady knew about it, yeah.
And it was your granddad that was telling the lady.
So my granddad was alive at the time. My mum was only small, and her job was to clean the dining room table, and she accidentally knocked it and knocked one of the flower heads off. But she didn't tell anybody.
But see, that makes that, to me, that makes that lady credible.
Yeah, because like that's a childhood memory from my mum.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like something that he would know and be like, oh, well, I saw you do this in spirit form. Like, he never knew who broke it. And I didn't even know about that story. I just brought it up, and my mum was just like, "What? Like, how do you know that?" She was like, "There's no way you know that." And I was like, "This woman's just randomly told me the story, and I thought I'd tell you."
So did that change your way of thinking on the whole medium?
100%. Like, at first, I was just like, none of this resonates with me at all. But I was like, I'll pass it on to my mum, see what my mum says. And as soon as my mum like confirmed it, I was like, holy shit! Like, that there is no way. I've known this woman no more than maybe 2 to 5 minutes of talking to her. That's it. Like, I randomly went into this chat room for her to be like, do you have someone passed on, and just randomly kind of open up. I'm like, how did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't even know that. And I thought I was close to my granddad and my mum. My mum's never told me that story.
See, that's the same thing happened to me. I'm not going to tell you because it's a big long story, but I'll just tell you a snippet. Is I just randomly went to a spiritualist church in Glasgow. I'd never been to this one before. It was a last minute thing. Something just kept telling me, just go, just go. So it was a last minute. I jumped to the car and went. And there was a lady came on the medium. She was maybe in her late 50s, and she came straight to me. And she says, "You've got a daughter in the spirit world called Donna, and she's been sitting on your knee since you came in."
Wow.
And I lost a wee girl back in 1992 called Donna.
Oh.
She was just under 6 months. I've never been there. Nobody knew me. This woman says she's been sitting on your knee since you came in.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought, right, how she told me about my gran and an ex-girlfriend, my dad as well. Things, and it was all wee bits and pieces that she told me how my ex-girlfriend passed away, where she passed away, told me her name, and she'd passed away, I don't know, maybe 10 years prior to this, in a car crash. But this woman told me everything. And it's when you get stuff like that, then you think, aye, there is. I think that's what tipped me out to believe that there was definitely something after here.
Mm.
What were you, Hollie? You're sitting there all quiet, drinking the wine and eating the crisps. What's your thoughts on it?
Until, like you say, until I've seen it, I don't really, I'm kind of 50-50 with it. Like, I have to see it to really believe it. And I've not really seen it a whole lot. Like, but I've seen it enough to believe it. Like, I believe it 100% when I see it, if you know what I mean.
I know that. I mean, that's like a lot.
So, like,
There is a minority of people who just believe it.
mediumship and like, what's your thoughts on mediumship? Like, whether you believe in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts on mediumship and what experiences you had? I mean, you were kind of medium at one point, weren't you?
Yeah.
Would you call yourself medium? Or
I wouldn't call myself medium. I think things just pop in my head.
Oh. You're valid things.
Yeah, things just pop in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What you were saying, Ash, you don't class yourself as a medium. I mean, I think it's happened to everybody. We've all been out in investigations and we've felt something. If there's somebody there, somebody standing beside us, or somebody walking by, it's happened to me quite a few times. I'm not a medium or a sensitive or anything, but don't you think maybe that the more you investigate, the more your barrier comes down and the more you're likely to pick up on things?
This is something I've
Yeah.
spoken to Hollie about, but like mainly the most recent investigations, really, isn't it? The past like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I've been telling Hollie how I've been finding myself an awful lot more. Like, the closest me and Hollie have researched for my ability would be clairsentience, which is basically best way to put it is if I thought of a memory of, say, like me riding a bike when I was 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I want you to see that memory too. So I click my fingers and I've put that memory in your head, and now you can see my memory. It's kind of like that. So like I can go to a location and be like, an argument broke out here. A lot of it is built up. The argument broke out, something bad went wrong, this is what happened. And I'll have, it's almost like a small movie scene or like a clip in my head. And I've also had like images as well. So like the first ever time we went to the Valiant, I told you about what looked like a really scraggly small man that was like dressed as a farmer. And I swear I said like the name Harold or something, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I was like, for some reason I keep getting the name Harold. This is the kind of image I'm getting in my head. And twice the name Harold come through the spirit box that night. Yeah, quite impressive. Like I didn't think I ever had that sort of ability. It's really weird, but like it's only recently like I've really been talking to people and being open about it, because like my main fear is that I'll be like, oh well, I'm seeing this and this is how I feel, and people will be like, oh, she's trying to join in, well done, do you know what I mean? Or like she's making it up, and I don't want to feel like a tit. So I mean, I've been speaking to the mediums in the groups and stuff like that, and they're really encouraging me. And Hollie's been an amazing supporter as well, and like trying to encourage me to speak out, because there might be a point, because we don't research the locations we go to beforehand. There might be a point I could splurge out something, and they're like, "Holy shit, that actually happened." I want to prove myself that it's real.
I think, I mean, I just say I'm not an expert or whatever, but I think so. You just need to let it develop naturally.
Yeah.
You know, and you've obviously got, you know, spirits taking a hand in it as well. And obviously they know what they're doing. You know.
I stride. I'm in no rush. It's practice at the end of the day. It's gaining confidence as well, and learning to open yourself up, let your barriers down a little bit, and being safe with it as well.
And as you say, you might go somewhere, pick up with something or someone, but you're kind of 50-50 whether you're going to tell people in case they think, oh, she's faking.
100%. Yeah, it's a confidence thing.
That's the kind of downside that, you know, there's, and I think the old TV mediums get a lot to blame for that.
100%.
You know, because they've shed a bad light on mediums.
Like,
I mean,
not fantasize it. What's the word? Like glamorize it.
Glamorize and dramatize.
Dramatize. Yeah, they make it like this huge thing, and I mean, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's behind a camera at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, it's showbiz.
That's it. As you say, they make it a big, huge. It doesn't need to be a huge thing. It can just be something that's natural, and you know, and I get the more natural you are with it, and the more simple you are with it, the more you're going to develop, and the more that spirit's going to lend a hand.
Yeah.
Because to me, that might be talking toss, I don't know. But to me, spirit at the end of the day, they're no daft. You know, they'll be able to tell somebody who's out for fame or somebody who's not just genuinely want to develop whatever it is that they've got. And so they're more likely to go and help the genuine person than they are the fame hunter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, the passing spirit's over. I've seen it getting done. And no disrespect to anybody that does it. But to me, and again, my personal opinion is, they should just leave well alone. If a spirit wants to move on, they'll do it in their own time.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, instead of being told, right, it's safe to go. You'll get spirits out there that are maybe troubled, they're worried, you know, about what's, you know, lies beyond the light, the door, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, or they're like physically asking for help through equipment and stuff, then obviously go ahead. But I get what you're saying.
But, you know, in an instance with that, what I would do is just reassure them, you know, that it's safe, and just be honest with them. Well, we don't really know what lies beyond the light, but we know it's safe.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But it's up to you whether you want to move on or not.
Yeah, see, this is another thing as well. I find a lot of people talk to spirit like it's some mythical creature, and they're like, spirit, come forward, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, the way I see it is like, talk to it like me and Holly and you were talking right now.
Yeah.
They were human. They are a humanoid entity. They used to have a physical body. They're still a person. And if they're willing to communicate, you want to be as welcoming as possible and be like, come in the room, come and speak to us, that sort of thing. Rather than like trying to summon, you know what I mean? And like, it seems like it's some sort of magic trick to summon some energy and then see if something comes through.
Aye, just be yourself, your normal tone of voice. I agree with that. That's what we do. But I mean, the only time you should maybe change your tone of voice is if you think you've got a spirit of a child there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know, then you kind of go to the softer voice, whatever you want to call it. But no, I've seen these people and thank you, you know, come forward, and you think, just ask them if they're there or no.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what me and you pretty much do, isn't it? We just sit there and we're like, if anybody's here, can you come and speak to us? Like, we're not meaning any harm, that sort of thing. Like, we have equipment here that could show us that you're here if you can't use the energy to speak. They have like lights and stuff like that. Like they sparkle and they make noise. This one makes music. Like, we'll even go up to the equipment and show them what it does, so then they're not gonna hurt them or anything. But they're gonna have to use energy for them to work. It's just like talking to someone who's just entered a room and explaining what the stuff is on the floor. That's literally it. It's not like it's some storybook character.
Yeah, or like when
I conjure you.
When people like demand.
Yeah.
People get demanding. Like.
Are they people really get on my nerve ends, shall we say? You know, that they're trying to conjure up, or it's always demonic, it's always evil. And I've seen, no doubt you girls have as well, seen so many of them say, you know what, I mean, one thing comes to me, there's a place up near us, it's an abandoned power station. We don't get near it now because it's just too dangerous, basically. But we'd investigated it about 4 or 5 times, and little bits of activity, nothing major, you know, there was never anything bang, you know, just wee bits and pieces, but it was still good to go and try. But we took an individual there one night. There was 3 floors in this place, and he was up the top floor with us, and he's with that. There's something demonic over in that corner. Don't get near it. I'm not allowing you to go over in that corner. And we were, Laura was there, weren't you?
Hi.
Laura was there. And we were just looking at each other thinking, you know, there's
Okay.
That was my 9-year-old. Oh, as you can tell, it's warm in here. But that's why, demonic in that corner. I'm not allowing you to go near it. We've been here quite a few. There's nothing demonic there, you know. How can you know just say there's I feel like there's somebody standing there? But they need to slap the demon word on it. And I said, Laura and I just stood there and looked at each other. About, no, you know. Needless to say, we never took this individual back.
That's a bit like some people you'll see on like entertainment shows and stuff. They're like, this is a poltergeist, it's evil, it's this, it's that. And I'm just like, you're meant to be professionals on a TV show. Poltergeist doesn't mean evil. It means something that's strong enough to move a physical object. Just with energy alone. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's demonic. It's just strong enough. That's literally strong enough to move physical things, or like tap and knock and stuff like that. That's poltergeist activity. Shutting a door. It doesn't necessarily mean it's evil. And like, I don't know why, but that's one of my like with entertainment. Is I'm like, why are you using poltergeist as an evil word when it's not evil?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's no, a poltergeist isn't an evil thing.
No.
You know, but these people automatically label it as evil, and you sit down and think to yourself, when is enough enough?
Apparently poltergeist is demonic activity, and it's like, Have you done your research? You've been
I,
doing TV.
I don't even start me on research. You know, some teams wouldn't know research if it crawled out your hookie. Know what I mean? It's when people claim things and all the rest of it, and it's you know yourself that there's is that more alcohol you're pouring there? By the way, we can see you.
Only a little one. It's a half glass, okay?
But you try to do that off camera there.
No.
I was going to say because you failed miserably.
No, why would I be sly? We're sat here with wine glasses and snacks. Like, you already know I'm drinking wine.
Because it's ladies' night, innit? That's what I forgot. It's
You're part of girls' night, Scott. Remember that, okay? Are you just jealous that I can't pour you one?
I don't drink wine. I had a bad experience with wine in Spain many years ago, and no, I'll never. I like sangria. That's a kind of form of wine.
It's Spanish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aye, it's a kind of cheap Spanish wine. But as for wine itself, no, never ever again. No. But no, these people that they don't do their research or they just make all these outlandish claims. I'll tell you a good one, and I'm going to name them. I don't care. Other folk have named it. Have you ever listened to that bollock Huff Paranormal?
Yeah.
Right. Have you seen his latest one?
I haven't watched him for a while, to be honest. I used to watch his portals and stuff when he'd make the portal boxes.
You need to go on TikTok. You need to watch his latest one because he has contacted God.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not kidding. Is this the face of a guy that's kidding on? No.
I mean, I remember watching like there's one he did was Robin Williams. That was pretty good. That actually sounded like him coming through. There was one with Michael Jackson, one with Paul Walker. He's done loads of like celebrities and stuff. I'll have to send some links.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
he
think
has
I've
like
seen
these little
Robin Williams one.
radio portals that
Yeah,
are like all lit up.
Huff-
Huff Paranormal.
Yeah.
He always gets the big celebs, but he never gets Joe the Butcher or anybody. It's always because mind they go Queen Elizabeth. Did you ever see that a couple of days after the Queen passed away? She was there in America talking to him.
Oh.
Right, that's where she was. She went to America. Maybe she'd always wanted to visit or something, I don't know, but she was out there talking to him. But his latest one is he's contacted God and God's talking through the spirit box to him. So, I mean, to me, if you contact God, the big man, then you call it a day because you can't get much higher than that, can you?
No.
I mean, personally, me personally, I've been brought up quite an atheist family. But there's always weirdly been like a little tiny part of me that's like, I'm interested in why people believe in this sort of thing. Is there? Isn't there? Was he a magic man who knew how to do magic and turn water into wine like Dynamo does these days? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I'm the same. I mean, they have proved that there was a man called Jesus that exists, you know.
Yeah.
And way back 2,000 odd years ago, you know, they were saying he was the son of God, he was the son of man. Everybody was called that, but back then.
But then there's people these days called Jesus. You're saying he's like resurrected. You go to Brazil, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are called Jesus.
Yes.
I've met a guy called Jesus before, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't the Lord.
I'm not dissing religion. I do believe there is something. I do believe that there is a higher power. You know.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I completely I respect that, and it's more of like an interest. Like I keep seeing these ads and stuff on TikTok. I think no, not TikTok, Snapchat. I told you about.
Yeah.
Like the Book of Mormon and stuff. It keeps coming up as an ad on my Snapchat, and I'm just like, there's a part of me that really wants to sign up and have missionaries come to my house, give me a Book of Mormon, and just read through it and see what the whole like book is all about. I was about to say storybook, but like the Bible and everything, because I've never read like it or anything, so I don't really know an awful lot about it. But like a lot of the military schools I used to go to were Catholic schools, like C of E school, like that. So we used to on like Easter and stuff, we would have our own church at the school, and we would go and sing hymns and stuff like that. But I was never kind of understanding of why we were singing them, or do you know what I mean?
What drives people to actually believe it all?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah,
basically, you know.
Behind it, I don't get it because I've never been brought up to believe that. It's interesting to me.
We were. I was in the Cubs and the Scouts, and obviously to go to church because it was part of the job, basically. You know, church parades and all that kind of stuff. But my mum and dad, they weren't. My grandma was a wee bit religious, you know, but my mum and dad, they didn't really bother. But I mind watching a documentary quite a while back now that you know, Moses says, it says in the Bible, Moses parted the Red Sea, you know, and they all walked across it. Well, scientists actually showed that it did actually happen, but they showed what it was. It was a natural kind of event that happens once every X amount of years, that the sea does actually move and there is a kind of pathway created. So they were saying, well, is this what the Bible's referring to? Obviously, back then, you know, when it was written about, people wouldn't have understood the science and all that, but scientists actually showed you, well, this is what happened.
So what are they trying to prove? Like maybe it was a time that he was there at the perfect time that a natural phenomenon happened?
At the right place at the right time, basically.
Maybe think that he was magical and parted it or something.
Because obviously people back then would have interpreted it as an act of God.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but now obviously with science and stuff like that, obviously they've now figured out it's a natural phenomenon, so there's an answer to it.
There is an actual, you know, the raining for 40 days for it, I don't know. There's tons and tons. I'm not disputing the Bible, you know, that's a big rabbit hole, that. But, you know, I know what you mean, actually. You wonder what drives people to believe.
I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested. And, like, there is parts of me, I reckon at some point in my life, I will, not necessarily to the point of study the Bible, because, like I said, I've been brought up in an atheist family. I don't really believe in this sort of stuff. But at the same time, it's a bit like somebody not believing in the paranormal.
It's the same, actually.
Yeah, I don't believe in ghosts and I don't believe in this. And oh, what a pile of malarkey. And I'm just like, but I've seen stuff. I've experienced more, but they've experienced stuff from God and stuff like that. And I'm just like, but I haven't. So why should...
I mean, as you say, there's a lot of people don't believe in it, which is totally fine. But just when I was just quickly jumping back, I was talking about that meeting we told me with my daughter. She was my wife at the time, she's my ex-wife now, thankfully. But, you know, she, you know, I came out that church that night and I sat in the car for about half an hour before I started. And I went home and I told her. She didn't believe it. She believed what I was telling her, but she didn't believe the woman.
No.
So I said, well, she says, no, it's not true. There's nothing, there's no such thing. I said, well, you tell me, how did that woman tell me about Donna? You explain that to me. And I might, if you can give me a logical explanation, then I might believe you, but no, I don't believe in it. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, you know, do you want to join her, basically? She just point blank refused to believe this woman. I said, well, I'm telling you, you ever been in that situation where you know it's happened?
Yeah.
And you can prove it's happened.
A bit like,
does they believe it?
The whole flower thing as well.
Aye.
Like I had to my mum. I literally just entered a chat. This woman just randomly called me out and told me this story, and now I'm telling you. That's literally it. That's as far as it's gone. And my mum was like, but how?
Yeah.
How?
How does she know that? How can you possibly, because nobody knows that, is with the flower with the flower head and that coming off it. It's just
This was an American woman. She was a stranger. Like, I'd literally just gone into the chat room. I didn't know who this woman was or anything. She's absolutely nothing to do with me. I didn't even have her as a friend on there.
No.
She was just a randomer that come in.
And you know, think that these people are the best kind of mediums.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Like,
the down to earth ones.
Random like readings and stuff like that. They're a really, really good giveaway as to whether they're an amazing medium.
I mean, Barry John, he's been, you know, he's quite a famous medium. He's always, you know, he's been heavily sought after. He's been on television and all that, and we're quite close friends with him. And he's been on our show quite many times. But seemingly, he's not interested in fame or anything. He just enjoys what he does.
Yeah.
And that's good.
You know, and the guy is a genuine article, but he's no. I mean, I'll sit and kid on about when he's charging his batteries, and so you need to watch the show, you understand. But it's with me private jokes you have with him, and he's no up his own backside or anything. What are you eating anyway? Is that the Doritos?
You know, 12 bites.
Aye.
Chocolate and wine. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'll take the chocolate, but no the wine. But I'm watching our time, ladies. I know you need to come off at 10, but it's like it's a minute past the tough.
Right, that's all right. The lads usually come back at about 5 past, so it's kind of timing.
So you got a couple of minutes yet then, aye?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. So what's up next year except for a hangover?
We don't get a hangover, actually. We're all right, aren't we?
We're all right, yeah.
we kind of not limit ourselves, also like pace ourselves.
Does that no worry if you don't get hangovers?
No, it just means that we drank a good amount.
Yeah. We know our limit is 3 bottles. As long as we take it easy. If we drink it too quick, then we're absolutely mortal.
So what yous like me is they're absolutely hammered.
Hilarious.
We've got videos.
Yeah.
Well, yourself, have you?
Yeah, usually I would say our go-to is to start randomly singing Backstreet Boys songs to each other and serenading each other.
Yeah. Doing a bit of boogie woogieing.
Yeah, we'll start twerking in the middle of the living room, just
Yeah.
to no music at all.
Yeah.
You need to send me some of the videos. You know, not the twerking, but keep that to that's your stuff. You keep that to yourself. But
Yeah, we don't have any videos of that, but yeah, we do have videos of us singing to each other.
with this, these do the serious look. You know, when somebody's drunk and they get serious looking down on the knee, and you know, karaoke's in a pub, and you people that are right into it.
Yeah, we look at each other all loving, because I think our song is like a love song.
It is a love song.
It's a love
yeah.
song, yeah, and we sing it to each other. It's so cute. We both have like a Backstreet Boys song.
That's so touching. But you know these people. And I mean, there's a pub we used to go to in the town, and every Friday done karaoke. And I did get up after quite a few beers the odd night and do a wee bit of karaoke. But there was we stay near a town called Ayr, and every year they have the Ayr races, and you got all the people, they dress up, you know, in all the posh dresses and the big hats and everything. We were in the pub one night, and people who'd been at the Ayr races came in, you know, and there was a group of girls came in, and there was one girl got up to sing that "My Heart Does Go On," might that be? And she was a stunning looking girl, you know, and she had the big fancy dress and all that one, and she was right into it. She was down on her knees in the middle of the floor and all the rest of it, but she sounded like a cat giving birth.
Oh, no.
I find though, especially when you've had a couple drinks to yourself, right? When you hear stuff like that in a pub, I find it so funny. It really gets to me, like watching people be drunk and think that they're singing like Beyonce down this microphone when they sound.
they're in the zone, and they're in that zone, you know. But
So
I don't think anybody was laughing. I think everybody was just, they didn't know what to say. Aye, and they go like this, and the hands come up, and then the phones come out, and the light torches go on the phone.
put the lighters up.
And I was just going to say, if you've not got a phone, you put the lighter up, and you're like this, you think, you set the place in bloody fire. You know, I've never got my head around all that, you know. Don't get me wrong, people get drunk and have a good time. We've done it many a time ourselves, but it's when they get into the karaoke zone and they think they sound like whoever, Whitney Houston.
Have a drink though, the confidence boosts a little bit, doesn't it?
It does, you think you sound amazing.
Yeah.
But you sound like a train going backwards on a dry day, basically. But you're that, excuse the French, I sound fucking amazing. I'm going to do another song.
Yes, I'm gonna blow everyone's socks off.
And because everybody in the pub's drunk, they clap. So that boosts your ego even more. You know, and you get the whistles and the cheers, and you're like, that must be pretty damn good. They're all clapping. Give me the mic. Give me the mic, DJ.
Thank you.
Stick another one on. That was totally unparanormal related, but you know, so there's a show time. So what's up next for you girls?
We have, we're gonna go live this Saturday at about 9 p.m. For it's the date of Squire Cable's death.
Right.
Or the law in death, that on the date of Squire Cable's death, you can hear him and the hellhounds going over Dartmoor. It's like a local folklore sort of thing, isn't it? But yeah, I mean that place can be really active. We've been there a few times and it's been incredible.
Yeah.
It's definitely a local kind of treasury, isn't it?
Yeah.
We go there quite often. But yeah, we'll be live there this Saturday, and then our next ghost hunt, because I'm going up to my mum's this month, so we don't have one this month, but next month we've got
Bachelor's Hall, which is
that's going to be a late one, isn't it? Yeah, it's like in the middle of Dartmoor. We're quite excited for that one actually. It looks like quite a big building.
Yeah.
Compared to Nuns Cross anyway. Nuns Cross was good, but it was quite small, wasn't it?
Farmhouse, isn't it?
But yeah, we're really excited about that. It's going to be a really good year for new locations. Locations this year.
Yeah, we have.
So yeah.
And then once you get your driving license, once you get your driving license, you'll be heading up north.
Yeah, we'll be up your way. We'll collab.
Yeah.
You definitely need to head north. You know, just bring wellies and big jackets and stuff, but you know, because your weather's no like what yours are. But I'll wind it up there since you're getting ready to go home and you know your bits and bobs. But I'll keep a hold of you after we come off just for a wee second or two, if that's all right, ladies.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
You can find us on TikTok at Project Paranormal. I think it's Project Paranormal 222 on TikTok. We're also Project Paranormal on YouTube as well, but we don't have any videos on there just yet. We haven't produced any long enough videos to make it exciting, but we are working on it. We also have an Instagram as well at Project Paranormal.
And Facebook.
Sorry.
Project Paranormal.
It's a process making videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean it's more of a making videos that we're proud of, and that we're excited to watch ourselves, and entertaining enough for people to watch. We want to be really proud of the work that we put out.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is when we're, just before we wrap up, when we're out on investigations with other groups and stuff, it's hard because you don't know if other people want to be filmed. You can't have bright lights and stuff on when you want them because people want to be in the dark and watch torches go off and EMF detectors and REM pods and all that sort of stuff. So you can't really film anything because it's pitch black.
Aye, we've had that before as well. You're trying, but it doesn't really work out the best. I don't know how you get around that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it can get a little bit difficult in that sense. So once we've got driving licenses and stuff like that, like we'll be unlimited. Like we can do whatever we want, have as many lights as we want. It'll be awesome.
I just threw everything in the boot, didn't you?
But for now we're going to be doing like lives and stuff on TikToks. Maybe do like show arounds with lights and stuff, and like insights into our night, and put that on TikTok. But it won't be like full blown videos just yet, I don't think. Maybe like more videos, 10-minute videos.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, you know. I mean, we tried some videos way back, and they weren't great. What I mean, when did we start the wall? So about a year ago.
Yeah.
It was only in the last year we was doing the Wallace sale that we put videos up on YouTube. So it took us we did try about 3 years ago a documentary in Edinburgh, but it was crap. You know.
Oh.
Once we put it together and watched it, don't know, that's crap.
Content, like a little bit of content is better than no content, I guess.
It's still up. It's called the Darkest Mile. We're actually going to redo it. CRA Entertainment asked if I would film a documentary in Edinburgh, so that's part of the reason we're going there tomorrow as well, to look at different locations. But you know, you get there eventually. There's no rush. As you say, a little bit of content is better than nothing.
Yeah. I remember you saying actually that you were going off for like some time away before you go and do this podcast.
Aye, we took some time out, what have you, but we're heading to Edinburgh tomorrow, to look at different locations and catch up with Jamie Christoffel. Which when you head up to Edinburgh, put you in touch with, because he's quite an interesting guy.
Well, if you ever head up that way with you, and then you can point us in the right direction.
Yeah.
He actually looks after the Covenanters prison, and he looks after the vaults as well.
Oh, nice.
And he's genuine down there. There's nothing this guy doesn't know, history wise. I mean, there's a lot of tour guides in Edinburgh and all the rest of it, but you find a lot of them are scripted.
Yeah, he's got a good.
No doubt you get that down there. But with Jamie, if you listen to Jamie giving a tour and then listen to a tour guide giving a tour, you can tell that you can hear the difference in it. You know, we've listened to both, and you can hear that Jamie's more genuine and what he's telling you is 100% true, basically. Whereas a tour guide, you say they learn a script basically up here. I don't know how it works down there if you get them down there, but up here they learn a script, and you can tell they're reciting this script when they're talking to you. Do you know what I mean? But no, James, a guy, see, when you head up to Edinburgh, well, obviously we'll be there as well. You're not getting away with that one.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? But I'll get a hold of it. We'll wind it up there, folks. So a big thanks to the two girls. You will be seeing them again. And I hope they enjoy the rest of their wine and their snacks on their ladies' night.
Thank you.
So we'll be in Edinburgh. We hope to go live in Edinburgh tomorrow when we're talking to Jamie, but we'll wait and see what happens. But we're back on Monday with Bethan Briggs Miller from Help My House is Haunted.
Nice.
She's coming on Monday night, and we're going to have a wee chit chat about what she does. So if you ladies are free, give it a wee watch. 9 o'clock Monday night.
Yeah. I'll be watching.
Help My House is Haunted. So I'm looking forward to that one. You know what I mean? But we shall wind it up there, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon. And you'll see these lovely ladies again soon as well. All right. Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.